Another reason why I've left Christianity, the church, fundamentalism, and Calvinism is that churches teach sexist, gender double standards. Now, you might be saying that in a previous video, we have already talked about this kind of thing. So we've talked about the toxic expectations and rules that really force gendered people, cis people, into adhering to what I like to call the Stepford expectations, where you find someone of the opposite sex who believes the same things you do, wants the same life, and is either a submissive wife or an alpha male, and you have anywhere from 1 to 3 children in a white neighborhood, and you just live your privilege. And for those who aren't, Caucasian or white, there are still stereotypes and gender and race expectations. You go in to take a class for mathematics. People are going to think, oh, the instructor is going to be Asian. And that's a very racist stereotype. It's like the driver's ed teacher is African American. And very rarely do people actually get out of the expectations society has for them. And in 2025, I'm starting to see this even more. Not only does the church teach gender roles and expectations that comes with privilege. You do this, you get these things. Like if a woman is pure and doesn't have sex before marriage, she's submissive, quiet, gets in line, and it's basically a baby making machine. She gets the protection status of wife material. If anything happens to her, she's most likely to be helped by police because missing white woman syndrome. She's the pinnacle of society. The only thing above a white woman is a white man. And the idea where women should be trad wives and men alpha males is very common. Shouldn't be, but it is. And there's nothing wrong with fitting the traditional alpha male stereotype, provided it's not your life obsession. And women who fit the traditional Barbie trad wife, stereotype. There's nothing wrong with that. Because you can't choose what hobbies interest you. You can't choose what clothes look good on you. It either does or it doesn't. And in our culture of Judeo-Christian values, we always see more value in a woman who is traditionally feminine. If you don't fit the traditional feminine expectations, most people wonder if you're a dyke, which is a slur. And in religious areas, especially in fundamentalism, you're not praised for being a tomboy. It's usually an explanation why you don't fit certain feminine guidelines. And when I grew up, I was very much of a tomboy. I didn't like dolls, playing with tea sets. I didn't play with very feminine toys. I was more into shopping and male toys, which now is extremely transphobic. I grew up in an environment that forced you to be a gendered role, and if you didn't get in line, all hell would break loose, literally. My brother couldn't read books that were geared toward girls. I wasn't allowed to play with toy trucks until I was much older. And if you fit into the stereotypes society and religion expects of you, you're probably not going to feel the pinch that people who aren't stereotypical in the spectrum of femininity and masculinity are going to feel. People who are very independent, or they're feminine and independent, they have their own minds, are going to feel much more of a pinch than a man being independent and knowing what he wants. Gender roles create an environment where everyone's behavior, punishment, and reward system is based on your gender, your age, and how well you fit into a system that either rewards or shames. And you grow up in this environment where everything is centered around men. What makes men feel safe, what makes men feel calm and happy, what makes men comfortable and just okay. And this is the problem when it comes to things like bodily autonomy. I was never taught words like consent, sovereignty, agency. I was never taught about owning your own space, having boundaries. I was never taught how to advocate for myself. And it wasn't until I was maybe 30, which was about a year and a half ago, that I actually could set boundaries. Of course, my family would never keep those boundaries. But boundaries aren't about other people. Boundaries are how you react to disrespect or just common questions. Boundaries are how you react to other people's behavior. And growing up as a woman, especially a white woman, and I don't mean to be racist about it, but yes, race and what bracket you're in for socioeconomic, financial groups really does determine how much freedom, access, privilege, and what you can get away with. I mean, in churches, white women can get away with a lot more than people who aren't white. And white men, I mean, could get away with murder. And if you read the news, they have. White men can get away with anything, at least now for a certain time. And the patriarchy hurts men too. If you're a man and you were born a man and you stayed a man, we call that cis, and you identify as a man, imagine growing up in a culture where your needs are always the center of the universe. Your desires, feelings, career, your point of view is everywhere. Every time you go to a movie, watch, or read a book, I mean, you look at the books on a library shelf. The majority were written by men. And books are very similar to watching adult videos. When you're told this is what women want, what women strive for, and how women react to normal things, and if it's written by a man, I mean, for decades, people believed what men said about women. And even Sigmund Freud, I mean, psychology, how many decades did Sigmund Freud set women back? The idea that women are not fully human, that women's reactions to life, their emotions, their words, their hormonal cycles everything is tied to their reproductive organs. I mean, words like hysterical comes from the word ovary. And the words we use are just as powerful as our actions. When we use words to describe women that are dehumanizing and just awful, how are men or even boys growing up trying to find what healthy masculinity is and what isn't real about women? How do you think they're going to react when they're exposed to things that Andrew Tate put out, or the manosphere, pornography? Like, none of those do anything good for women until just a few years ago, where certain things are being more catered to women than they ever have been. I mean, pop culture and media is so prevalent and impacts everything. Men are taught from birth that the world is centered around them, that they are the most important part of the universe. I mean, they don't call people Hebrews in history. They're named after masculine terms. And prefixes, even in the English language, have to do with gender. I mean, you learn a new language. There's the masculine and feminine